Good morning, Artisan Collective. How we all doing? Breaking news! It would appear we have some bad weather with a chance of disappearing pranks. Let's go over to the scene now with Kiwi. Kiwi here, and yeah, it's kinda gone. It's gone? Yeah. Well, you heard it here, folks. The prank's gone, and I wonder who would ever do such a thing. Anyway, in other news, chickens! That's right, I spent nearly 9 or more hours getting eggs, but we now have all of the different chicken variants. Oh? Well, it would seem we have to end it here, folks. It's time for some mining, crafting, and fun with friends. But hey, welcome back, or welcome to the Artisan Collective. As you can see, there's a little place. I spent some time when I built up myself a newsroom. And I love it very, very much. Got a map of the whole area. In fact, I can see my base. I can see Richie's base. Well, most of Richie's base. And then Maze's base. And then a little bit of Mr. Gambito's base, I think, is over here. And then I think that's Silent's base. And I think all of this is going to be Richie's base eventually. And that's all Richie base. And this is all me. In fact, there's our tower right there. And that's also me. The maps, whenever you kind of put them like this, it kind of folds them and deletes a bunch of stuff. I don't know, it's weird. But I'm actually really happy with how this turned out because we got the dark spots. We got the chair for the people recording. We got the little like desk thing. We got a pencil. That's right. We got a pencil. I don't know. I was having a lot of fun with this. It was something cool to just get back into building, kind of do some little design nitpicky stuff while also trying not to burn myself out. The lobby's not too much anything this special. It's kind of boring, it's kind of plain, it's kind of dead. I didn't really want to do much with it because there's not really a purpose to this area down here other than the fact that you go up. It's the elevator. I mean, I guess I could have decorated like an elevator, but I didn't. But the outside is where it really comes to life. So as you can see, it's just a tower of magnificence. We got the satellite dishes, we got the like news pub thing, we got another satellite like pole thing, we got the actual tower itself that's been broken and it's overgrown, and we got these new little like cherry blossom things growing off of them. I thought it was really cool. Originally I had some other designs, I even showed it on stream, and it's kind of like beta form for the tower, and I didn't like it, so I changed it. But I think it turned out pretty cool. And there's actually a reason to this thing. For one, I think it looks really cool in the background. And it starts to kind of tie in the fact that, hey, while this area is abandoned, there is technology. It's not like technology is completely gone. Technology very well does exist, and it's going to play a huge role in the mega base once I start actually getting, especially the walls built up. But for now, that's the only hinge of actual, like, high-tech technology other than probably, like, that stuff over there, the lighthouse, stuff like that. And two, because I do want to show what used to be of civilization, and you're probably like, what do you mean by that? Well, I kind of wanted to build a little bit of a city, but not actually a city, just like a little portion, just a little bit. So I might have like a fallen skyscraper or a couple other buildings, just kind of make a block back there, just to be like, yeah, this was once a populated area, now it's completely abandoned and there's nothing over there anymore, which is why everyone's over here. Or at least in theory, that's how it works. And alongside everything else, like my starter base, the little city bit, and eventual windmills, it'll create a nice little skyline that blocks off the rest of the server, because behind there, it's empty. It's bad. There's nothing. I mean, eventually if you fly, you get to another person's base, but you get the point. There's nothing over there. But hey, what are we doing today? Well, I actually want to do some stuff with down here. I've had these two places dug out for a little bit now, and I've just been collecting resources. So there's a bunch of shulker boxes kind of scattered all over the place for art projects. But I really need villagers. I really need a new storage room, and I wanted to do them in a way that was just better. I don't even know what I mean by that, but I wanted to do it better. Storage system better, villagers better, everything better. Just do it better. And kind of give myself a way to get materials fast for these builds that isn't exactly gonna kind of make me want to pull out my hair. Because right now, I have the most incoherent storage room that doesn't allow me to get blocks very quickly, and it's causing me to have to spend days on days on days getting materials. And so, you know, we gotta fix that, and I gotta get stuff like terracotta and quartz and all that other fun stuff from the villagers that helps bring the space to life. Because until now, I have been stealing from other villagers, from other places. I will not say where. Don't tell anybody, okay? And like, apart from the tower over there, I haven't really done much building. You know, Richie is over here just going to town building stuff. And in fact, I think he's trying to build right now. What's he doing? I don't know if he expects me to come over here. I literally just bothered him even a few minutes ago. Oh, yes, he is. He is building. Aha. So you know what? Why not? I haven't done any building other than the tower. And Richie's doing building. And I kind of feel like building. So what if, you just hear me out. What if we got all the entrances for the 4 little corners here all done and built, and we got our villagers built, and then we can wrangle some villagers, maybe with Richie, I don't even know, and then we can figure out our storage situation, because I mean it has to be a storage for my blocks, of course. But then you remember that blue power that I introduced last episode? If you don't, that's fine, but there's this blue unstable power that needs to be stored somewhere, and as you can see, the yellow is being used, and even the green is being used, but the blue has nowhere to go because no one wants to use it. That's so sad. But that means that we need to build storage for it. So, dual purpose. Storage room for my blocks, and storage room for the blue power. Anyway, I'm just rambling on at this point. Let's get to building, and I'll see you back when we have a nice, brand new, shiny villager hall with some improvements that I'm not sure I've actually seen anywhere else. Okay, let's go. And just like that, we got a new villager trading hall and a bunch of little entrances all over the place, which there's supposed to be more of them. I've only built 4 for the time being, because the other ones are not just tunnels like this. The other ones are supposed to actually be staircases that go up to the 2nd floor here, and I just haven't quite worked them out yet. But trust me, soon there will be more, and then we'll get walls and stuff all the way around here. But I just wanted to get something in that at least connected these 2 up a little bit. And obviously this is gonna be a storage, that's the trading hall, and then that is gonna actually be a furnace array, which I'm actually really excited about. I'm gonna be trying some new stuff and trying to make probably one of the most powerful furnace arrays you've ever seen. So hopefully that goes all good. And then over here, of course, is gonna be our new portal, which I'm also super excited about. I think that's gonna turn out super cool. But back at our villager trading hall, it's just supposed to be something simple. It's not supposed to be something completely over the top, and of course I've done my best to kind of decorate the floor here, but I wanted it to be nice, wide, and open with lots of amenities. I can craft whatever I need to. There's furnaces hidden in here as well so that I can smelt anything quick up. I don't have my furnace array active, otherwise a normal day would probably look like me going and trading and then going to the other way across and then stick it in the smelting array and smelting out of everything. But until I have that, I got these. And then it's just a bunch of little spaces everywhere. I think I'm gonna have farmers over here, and then maybe like the stone cutter guys over here. Not sure else. But there's gonna be a lot of villagers in here. And this might look familiar if you've been with me for a while. This is actually a secondary design of the kind of villager breeder thing that I built back in the Vanilla Extract server. It's just a little upgraded. Just a little bit. I may have reworked some wires and moved some stuff around and figured out how to do stuff better. And so, as you can see, this is actually on right now, and I can turn it off, and then it no longer breeds villagers, and then I can press the button and it goes back on, whatever. And this is the one that actually sends a minecart through, which I don't have any in there right now, but supposedly what's supposed to happen is that light turns on, the minecart goes through there, and then there's a little detector rail in here, so once the detector rail gets hit, this light turns off. In fact, there is actually a way I can test that. Let me go get some minecarts and we can actually go ahead and load it, because I do want to show you all how that works. Okay, I've loaded it with minecarts, and so this is how it works. I press the button, it sends the order. Think of it like ordering food, and then once the minecart gets here, the light turns off. And it's like, oh, hey, it's here. And I could actually connect some sounds to that, like a note block or two. I don't know, I might do that eventually. Just like make a little jingle. The minecart gets here and it just goes do 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 or something. That could be an idea. And then these lights up here are just purely decorational. I just wanted to put something up there. Because then on the other sides here, to match the kind of same idea, I just have fans instead of machines. And sadly, these ones don't move. I could do the moving ones, but I wanted this specific color, and I didn't like the look of the trapdoors in the off state with the buildstone ones. So I decided something like this, especially to try and cut down on lag in an area with a bunch of entities. I'm sure, though, if villagers didn't cause so much lag when in such high amounts, I probably would do the buildstone ones. I could find a way to hide the look of the trapdoors that are in there. But then, of course, the actual machine itself looks like this. You got the villager breeder, it abducts them, it brings them down here, and it puts them in here to be stored until, well, eventually the minecart picks it up and brings it up. But there's some changes from last time. So obviously the system is pretty much the same. You still got the little dispenser here taking and giving water, and then you still got the piston that pulls and pushes ice to kind of block off this path or let it lay open, stuff like that. And then this to keep villagers from escaping, because before I figured out that they would just straight up try and skip over this completely and they wouldn't drop down into the lava. They would just kind of float on along somehow because they would be running and then just leave. So that's there to keep the baby villagers from going that way, and it ensures that they go down. And this is just simple wiring. It is not the greatest. I'm not a redstoner, but this at least is simple because it's just a bunch of redstone lines going across. And oh boy, am I glad to get rid of this stupid T flip-flops. This is the greatest T flip-flop ever. I will never not say that. I love this thinking copper bulb, and it's gonna be in everything I do because I use way too many T flip-flops. Example, prime example. There. I can't do it without it. I love them so much. I'm so glad they were added. But these ones work to turn on and off the lights, obviously, with the buttons, and that one works to kind of flip this, because when the water is not there, the ice block should be off to the side, and when the water is there, the ice block should be in to allow the system to connect. And it's just so that I'm not causing too much lag whenever these villagers are breeding. I mean, that would be pretty bad. And so it's just a little machine that turns on and off a villager breeder. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if turning on and off is the right term, because technically it doesn't turn it off, it just stops them from reaching their final destination. Now we're gonna keep saying it turns off the machine, because it just sounds better that way. The other way just sounds ominous. But my plan to actually get villagers in here is by dropping down a hole. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little hole right there, which should lead somewhere over here. Let's see if I can find it. Ah, here. This is where we're going. So we need to bring the villagers here, drop them down, all nice and safe, and then we can plant the carrots and get the farm going. And I should have some stored there. That has 2 villagers, I think. Let's hope it does, because I just stored them like a couple days ago. Hello, you still in here? Yes, you are. Yes. I think both of you are able to have a job, but I just need one of you to be a farmer, so that's all I need. So then somehow we got to get these guys over to there. You know what? I'm going to mark that real quick so I can figure out exactly where it is easier. And it's pretty much all downhill, I think. Do we just ride this in a boat, or do we get a minecart or something? Because I feel like this is downhill, so that should be fine with the boat. You know what? I have an idea. I have a very good idea. It's not well, it might not be the greatest idea, but I have an idea nonetheless. See, it's not a terrible idea. It's just a little slow. Yeah, I'm just gonna take them over the bridge. Just a dirt line all the way to the finish line. I already got that one over there. Just takes a slight moment. It's better than probably trying to transfer them from a minecart to a boat, or vice versa, I guess, in this case. And they just get driven all the way down over there. Okay, this is actually really slow, I'm gonna admit that. It would probably be faster in a minecart, because then I still somehow have to get them down from here. They don't take fall damage, do they, when they're like this? Do they? I don't think they do. I just drive it off the edge here and find out. Whee! Ooh, they don't. Cool. So you're gonna go right here, and I need to go get the other one. And you go down right here as well. This is gonna work out so actually well. Oh, the least amount of headache I think I've ever had with villagers. Because they need to go into this hole. Come on, sir. Nope, sir. Go into the hole. Go into the hole. Thank you. And he survives. Cool. Same with you. You go into the hole as well. Yeah, thank you too. And then we can block this place off. Ooh, actually, wait. I need to get the water out of there. I just do this. No? Okay, fine. Block that. No more water for you. I guess I do need the carrots though, so let me go get those. There. Block that off so it makes it easier for me to get out. And I presume, yes, you're the farmer. You're the best one here. You're gonna take care of this farm, and I have full faith in you, and nothing bad's gonna happen. No, you're not allowed to plant those, sir. Sir, that's not correct. This is what you're supposed to be planting. Yeah. Enjoy your stay. I'm gonna leave this place to y'all. Ah! Get away! We can just block this hole off with dirt and the thing. No one's gonna care that exists. And then we can clean up everything, and it's all good. Actually, while we wait for them to breed up and get us some new villagers to stock that room with, I think it's about time we do something with this. Let's start on our little storage room here, why don't we? And let's see what we can do with a little bit of elevator magic.
And this is why the machine can't be left on. This is only from me actually building the storage room. So maybe about 4 hours, if even.
But hey, would you look at that? Look, it's done. We got a nice little machine here with a little bit of an elevator. So hold on, let me call that back up real quick so we can actually get down to the build underneath. Not to mention the cool sounds that I added. Just a little bit of music disc tricks. There it is. And then we can press this button to go down. And hello, storage room. Look at it. We got a bunch of screens everywhere, and we got the storage for the blue power. We got the storage for white blocks. We got the everything. But to be honest, I'm just having so much fun with this thing. I mean, seriously, who wouldn't want to go up and down? And even one thing I didn't even point out yet, and I can't believe I haven't pointed it out, is this little middle pedestal. This I've actually added because in the past, I've had storage rooms like this, or at least ones maybe not circular, but squarish, or sometimes circular, sometimes hexagonal, and just a bunch of different shapes, but with a bunch of chests all on the outside. And typically something on the middle. Except usually that middle thing blocks my view of everything, and I can't see over, I can't get past it or anything, and that's kind of bad. And with all my builds, I always accumulate a ton of different shulker boxes, and I've never really had a place to put them. I usually just put them on the outside here, just hoping that something will go right with them and I'll be able to find where they all are. And it never truly does happen. I usually end up misplacing them and stuff like that. And I wanted to fix that this time around. So we got this. This is my solution. It's a platform where I can purposely put shulker boxes, so I know where they are, I know what project they're from, I can label them on the outside here if I want to scooch them all the way out to the edges. And, better yet, I can get from one side to the other by just walking up some stairs, and then walking across, and going down the other side. It's better than trying to fly around endlessly, trying to find what block I'm trying to get. And it makes for a very cool centerpiece, considering that the centerpiece of this entire room is technically up there. Your eyes kind of get drawn up with the white backgrounds of these little pillars going up towards this big thing up here, because the color scheme down here is kind of muddy. It's kind of brownish, kind of reddish. It's intended to be that way, whereas up there is very much a grayscale with a little bit of blues in there. And another cool thing about this place is that it actually kind of mirrors something that's gonna be happening soon with the base. The base itself actually has a bunch of tunnels kind of like this, and a bunch of these pillars that will pop up. But in the meantime, you're just gonna have to wait. You'll definitely see what I'm talking about in like a couple of weeks, probably. And finally, probably one of my favorite things. You don't see them very well. I will admit that. I might change the backgrounds up behind them just because there's a bunch of pipes and stuff that kind of muddy them, but they're little murals. So like over here, I don't know if you can see it very well. I tried my best with these, with the limited amount of space I had with these glass panes. You got the hill, and then you got my starter house right there. And then over here you got some land, and you got the fields with the fire. Over here you got the lighthouse. So there's the top of the lighthouse, there's the bottom of the lighthouse with the little island. And then over here is actually a mural of the blowing up event. So you got the hole and all the TNT dropping and the land around it, obviously. And then that is actually for a future little tidbit, because I want to do a bunch of these hills everywhere. And I thought that would be really nice to put something in from that, so you get both the past and the future. And then you got the, of course, center of the city. And then that I won't actually tell you what that is yet. You'll figure that one out soon. I know it doesn't look quite like how it looks whenever I build it, but there's your little hint for something in the future. May or may not be the entrance to the city, but you'll have to figure that one out for yourself. But I'm actually super happy with how this turned out. This honestly could not have turned out any better, because I spent forever on this. This is the main room that mainly like pushed back this episode, but we finally got it done, and it's finally here, and it's finally in the world. I finally have everything sorted all nicely, neatly. I don't know, it's just kind of surreal. We've spent forever without an actual like sorted storage room. I've just kind of been shoving things places, and now I can actually sort things. Kind of nice. And of course, with everything here, there's the fact that I do need to go and rework some stuff, and there's some things that I do want to add everywhere. So like eventually, if we do make it up here, we'll say inconvenience. I had a staircase before, now I have a slow elevator. How could I do this to myself? I don't know. But I do want to do some little grassy bits and mossy bits and all these overgrown bits in the city as well. Towards the outside, it's going to be more overgrown compared to the inside, but in these tunnels, I do want to do some little bits where it maybe has been moldy, or I don't know, some spores or something reached the ground. It caused a big, massive boom of plants to come out of somewhere. I think it would be really cool, and it kind of matches the fact that this is supposed to be more run down than not, and right now it's just a little too clean for that. I mean, the least clean part of the inside of the city is probably this muddy ground down here. We just can't have that, can we? But hey, if you enjoyed the video, make sure leave a like, leave a comment. I would like to know what kind of things y'all build. I don't know, it seems kind of fun. And of course, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to keep up with everything that we're doing. I know it's been a minute. I know, I'm sorry. I tried my best, but some of this stuff is time consuming, like really time consuming. And I just happened to have a little bit of roadblock, so it took a little bit of time, but we got there. And hopefully I can continue making these videos almost weekly. Anyway, I'll see y'all in a future episode. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!